Okay, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to finally get the inner primary on this. I haven't been able to work on this for a little over a week now. I just have so much stuff to do on the property right now. My eyes are a little off today because I had my pupils dilated for an eye exam. So hopefully I'm seeing okay now. It's kind of worn off, but they actually had to freeze my eyes a little bit to do something with my right eye. So anyway, we're going to move on to the inner primary, and then soon we can do the push rods, and then finally start to button this motor up, button the bike up, I mean, so that we can get it started. So I couldn't figure out when I kind of tested the inner primary against the motor, seemed like it sealed fine without the O-ring that was on there, and then as soon as I put the O-ring on it, it still seemed like it sealed fine, but it wasn't completely tight against it. And come to find out, I was using the wrong O-ring. Now, if you get this kit from James Gaskets, this is JGI 60538-85-KF. This is the primary cover gasket seal set. And they have two gaskets with it, JGI 11125 and JGI 11147. So it says O-ring inner primary to motor 71 to 81 and O-ring inner primary to motor 82 and up. So I naturally assumed that the thicker O-ring was for mine, which it wasn't. It turns out that the thinner O-ring is for mine. So if we look at these O-rings, you can see them right here. I don't know how well that's going to show up the thickness on the camera, but this is the one that I had on there, which gave it a little, seemed like it was okay, but it still wasn't completely closed. This is actually the one we're going to use. So the difference is the thicker one is 2.25 millimeters, while the thinner one is 1.69 millimeters. So there's kind of a decent sized difference in the two. Again, see if you can see the difference between these two. So the one on the right here, that's the one we're going to use. So there is kind of a difference in it. So let me put some gasket sealer on this O-ring, and then we'll put it on the motor, and then we can fit the inner primary to it. Okay, so it turns out it probably wasn't the bolt that went through the midshift here. It was probably that gasket that was actually doing it. So let's put a little bit of, so this is black, ultra black gasket make. I'm just going to put a little bit on. I don't want to put a whole lot on, just to kind of coat this up a little bit. And we'll do this, we'll put some on here, mainly just to make this stick to the primary. So put that in the groove. Let me get that hair out of there. That groove. I've got a elastic here because I want to hold this shift rod up a little bit. So we'll put that up there. So that's in the groove here all the way around. All right, so let's fit this up and get these hoses right the way they should be. Okay, all the hoses are routed the way they should be, and it looks like that's going to fit good. We got to tighten up the bolt it to the transmission first, so we'll put these in, and then once we get this all bolted up, we'll do the safety wire, because you have to put the safety wire on these two bolts here. But we want to tighten this up to the transmission first. And then once we get everything tightened up the way we want it, then we can lock the transmission down. And finally making some progress on this bike. I can't believe the amount of stuff that I have to do here this summer. It's crazy. I just rented a sander the other day, so I have to sand my deck. We went out and got some new stain, so I'll be doing that. I'll be probably power washing it tomorrow and sanding it the next day. I'm going to bring my car down the shop because it looks like my water pump is leaking, so I'm going to be probably having to get a new, that's not the right one. What is that one for? So it looks like we're going to have to get a new water pump. So my wife took the truck to work today because I don't want to drive that car. I just happened to notice it the other day. I had the screen in the garage door here, and I looked out in the driveway, and there's like, I'm not going to say a puddle, but it was wet. And I saw that it was kind of like that before, like maybe from the day before. So it's been kind of leaking, I guess maybe a couple days. Why is this having such a hard time? Okay, so that's tight on there. So now we can move into the motor here. So these are the two up here that have to have the safety wire. You can see, if you can see, there's a hole in them, so we'll have to do the safety wire on those. And we got these, and I had to cut, well, I didn't have to cut it, but I had to grind a little bit of this. I don't know why I had to do that, but the other, it looked like the other inner primary had this bottom bolt, whatever you want to call it there. They had that ground down too because it wouldn't clear the frame. So, all right, so let's see how this one goes. So this is still turning okay in there. So let me bring the camera in here. All right, so you can see it's nice, fits nice and tight up against it. There's no gaps there. So now we can lock the transmission in, and we'll do the safety wire. Okay, so to finish this up, we're going to do the safety wire between these 2 points. So I believe this is 32. Safety wire comes in 3 different sizes, 25, 32, and 41. And I believe this is 32, the middle one. So we want to take enough to do both. So I'm going to cut off a good amount. And we've got our safety wire pliers here. Now you don't need these to do safety wire. You can actually use a regular pair of pliers. This just makes it a little easier. So we're going to thread this. Let me get a light here so maybe you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to put this in here like that and pull it down. Kind of like that. Okay, so as we're going to get this tied up here, what we want to do is we want to do a big turn like this, and that tightens it up right along there. So now we want to bring this down, bring that up, and we want to bring this in over here. Okay, so we got this around here like that. That's the one I want to make sure is tight. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to loop it around like we did the other one. So now we want to make this big loop like that. Take this pigtail and kind of turn it in like that. So there. So now we get a nice little bit. It's a little loose, but I think it's going to be fine like that. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. I actually had to stop after I got the inner primary because I had to go work on my fence. I went down and got 15 more pieces of that rough cut 1x5x8s. So I've got to work on that in the next few days. I think probably the next video we're going to do the push rods. Then we can move on to the starter and finish doing some of the electrical on the coil. I'll still need to get a couple nuts for this coil mount up here. But you know, maybe another month we'll get this thing started. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.